بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ. Addressing the believers, He says, hasten towards the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as well as Jannah. If you ponder over this verse, you find it's an order from Allah not only to do good deeds. He's saying hasten towards it. And in another verse, Allah says, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, which literally means, سَابِقُوا is from the word musabaqa, to compete. If you look at a person when they're in a competition, what do? They exert their efforts. They do whatever possible. They use all their resources in order to compete and to get to the front. They want to win. Allah Jalla wa Ala is saying, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Compete with one another. Exert your effort and your energy when it comes to attaining the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we look at these verses, we find that when it comes to goodness in Islam, we are ordered to do goodness, and we are also ordered to be at the forefront, to be in the front, to be those who are competing, to be those who are winning. And this is an extremely important point I want to touch on today. And that is, how does a person become a winner in their field? Inshallah, we'll touch on one story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes mention of the story of Dawood alayhi salam, David and Jalut, Goliath. We find in this story, even though we've taken it before from a different angle, there are many lessons we can derive. And this is the amazing nature of the Quran. You ponder over a verse and you're able to take a benefit. You ponder over it the next time, you're able to take another benefit and another benefit. And that is the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So today we want to talk about how a person develops that winning mindset to be the best in anything that they do. First and foremost in the deen. And this is something required from you Islamically. Today we find a lot of mindset coaches, a lot of winning coaches. We find a lot of people out there talking about becoming better. What's it all about? Yes, they have a lot of good points, but let us learn from the Quran. Allah Jalla wa Ala says, فَلَمَّا فَصَلَ طَالُوتُ بِالْجُنُودِ قَالَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مُبْتَلِيكُمْ بِنَهَرٍ. There was a man called Talut. He was appointed as the king of Banu Israel at the time. So he was going with his army. And they were going to pass a river. So he informs his army, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to test you with a river. إِنَّ اللَّهَ مُبْتَلِيكُمْ بِنَهَرٍ فَمَنْ شَرِبَ مِنْهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. Whoever drinks from this river is not from amongst me. Whoever drinks from the river is not from amongst me. Some of the Mufassirin mentioned that this was a test for the army. How was it a test? To show that those who are unable to bear patience, those who did not have discipline, those who are unable to control their nafs and their desire, when it came to water that was in front of them and they were informed that they would be tested, how do you think that they are going to be disciplined on the battlefield? And this brings me to point number one. That one of the keys when it comes to attaining, becoming successful, to get that winning mindset which Islamically is required of you, is to have discipline. Look at how the army is ordered to have discipline, and you should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test you when it comes to this discipline. This could be in whatever field you are. Let's say, for example, you're in business and you're getting a $10 million deal. However, it goes against your principles. It's something that is completely haram. It displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do you do here? You've got to stick to your principles. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to hold that inner desire of yours and say that no, this is not for me. Because if you don't, you'll find that you'll fall and stumble somewhere else. Getting back to the story, Allah Jalla wa Ala tells this man Talut to tell his army that they will be tested. فَمَنْ شَرِبَ مِنْهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. Whoever drinks from the water is not from amongst me. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَطْعَمْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي إِلَّا مَنِ اغْتَرَفَ غُرْفَةً بِيَدِهِ. As for those who do not drink, those who have the discipline to hold their nafs back, and they can see there's water. Imagine you're going far away and you're traveling and it's difficult and it's hot and you're going to meet an army. and you see that water, you want to drink, you're not supposed to drink. And these people, this group, they do not drink. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَطْعَمْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي إِلَّا مَنْ اغْتَرَفَ غُرْفَةً بِيَدِهِ. You're able to control that desire, you're from amongst me. You are from the army. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then mentions how this army gets to the battlefield. And they see the army of Goliath. What do they say? There's a group of them who say, لَا طَاقَةَ لَنَا الْيَوْمَ بِجَالُوتَ وَجُنُودِهِ. Just by seeing the numbers, just by seeing the strength of the army, just by seeing Jalut, Goliath himself, they say we stand no chance. And then there's a group from amongst them who have firm conviction in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say, كَم مِّن فِئَةٍ قَلِيلَةٍ غَلَبَتْ فِئَةً كَثِيرَةً بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. How many a time there's a small group who are able to overpower and conquer a larger group. And this is my second point for today. When you want to develop this mindset, when it comes to being the best at whatever field you may be in, obviously, as we mentioned, firstly in your deen, you've got to see the positive from every single situation. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, there's an army, there's two groups from them. Those who are looking at the negative, already in their mind, they've told themselves that we will be defeated. We stand no chance. And the other group, imagine it's the same situation, but two different minds. Those who are seeing it to say, because of this group, we're not going to win. They're too large, they're great. And the other group, they're saying that no, hold on a second. There are people who came before. How many a time that a small group conquers and overpowers a big group? And this is how we all have got to be. You find difficulty when it comes to the place you live in. You don't have certain amenities. There's things which are going wrong. There's things which are going difficult or which are difficult. There are those who sit at home and they complain. There are those who sit at home and say, you know what, we stand no chance. Or we know what, we have no hope. Why? Everything is stacked against me. And then you find there are others, same exact situation. Not only are they successful, they thrive in that situation. Why? It's to do with the mind. It's to do with mindset. And where are we taking these lessons from? We are taking them from a story of the Quran. So look at how in the story we learn the importance of looking and being positive when it comes to any situation. And look at how they mention that this victory that has been given to the smaller groups happened in the past. Remember, if somebody in your midst or somebody before you was able to do this thing that you see impossible, that is a sign from Allah that teaches you that it's possible. You find that some people say, you know what, I can't memorize the Quran. It takes too long. Look at those who've memorized the Quran in 6 months, 3 months, 1 year. If they were able to do it, surely you can do it. The problem arises a lot of the time where a lot of us, we say that, you know what, they are special. They are gifted by Allah and we have nothing. No, Allah created every single person with powers and with ability, and He's given every single one of us. And if somebody else is able to do it, surely you are able to do it by the help and permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we mentioned, Allah does not oppress anybody. You put in the effort and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you. So look at how this group of people are looking at the positives. They are saying, hold on a second. It's happened before where the small group was successful. Inshallah, we will be successful. The third point I want to get at is you have to remember, being the best in whatever you do comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah alone. The effort is required from you. And we take this from the story. What happens? This group of people who are positive, before they meet the army of Goliath, what do they say? They don't say that, we are strong today. They don't become arrogant. You know, some people have a false air of arrogance where they show too much confidence, forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person is like that, you find, yes, 2, 3, 4, 5 business dealings may go for you in your favor. And then the time comes where you come crashing down. That's a lesson from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To say everything is from me. Don't become arrogant. So look at this army, this group of people. Before they get into battle, they say, رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا. Oh Allah, grant us patience. Grant us patience. Remember, patience does not only mean to sit and suffer in silence. Patience also means to do the work and the difficulty that comes with it you bear with it and you carry on making the effort. Patience is not to sit back and say, you know what, something will happen, I'm being patient. No, patience means you hold your soul and your heart and your tongue and your body from doing anything that displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you also go to carry out that which rectifies the situation. So look at how this group say, رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغَ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا. Not only that, وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا. When it comes to our hearts, give us patience. When it comes to our physical being, make our feet steadfast. Keep us steadfast, keep us strong. وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا وَانصُرْنَا. They make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant them victory. And this should be in the life of every single one of us. You're struggling with something, put in the effort, have that discipline, but never forget that it's all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you, ask Him to elevate you. What you see as impossible, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to give you. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, we find in the stories of the Quran, in the stories of the Anbiya, the stories of the pious people throughout the Quran, throughout the Hadith, there are many different life lessons we take. It's up to us to go and find these lessons and to learn from them and to implement them in our lives. When it comes to Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us every single thing, and part of you believing that the deen is complete also means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught you how to use your brain, taught you how to use your body, taught you how to use all the amenities that He's given you. We would love to carry on, but time is short, inshallah. Maybe next week we'll talk about something similar. The reason why at times we speak about these topics. You find people sit at home. They become depressed because of the situation around them. And you need that boost. You need to be seeing that, you know what, I'm not the only one suffering in life. Don't have that victim mindset. Everybody who came before you struggled. Whether you are living here or somewhere else in the world, you will find your struggles, you will find your difficulties, you will find your tests. It's up to you to firstly acknowledge that it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and go out to be the best version of yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not burden a soul except that which is able to manage. We ask Allah to grant us goodness and beneficial knowledge. Ameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.